A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another book review today, so cheers. This time I'm looking at Darkwell. This is book 3 of the Moonshae trilogy by Niles. Now, I'm not a fan of this cover. The original cover of the book, I believe it was a Jeff Easley painting, was much better, but this kind of captures the climax of the novel particularly well. So, what did I think of Darkwell? I have some history with this book. When my family and I used to go down to Penrith Plaza back in the day, there was this little bookstore called Color Code Books. And my parents had this kind of rule where if we were in a bookstore and my brother or I wanted to buy a book, we were allowed to. Didn't matter what it was. That is where we got the Dragonlance Legends. My brother actually wanted to buy this. We have it. So it didn't matter how expensive the book was. It just mattered that it was a book. And I saw the cover for the original cover for Darkwell, the Jeff Easley cover. And I said, I really want this. So my parents got it for me. It was kind of my introduction into the Dungeons and Dragons fantasy literature. I didn't know that it was book 3 in a trilogy. So I read it, enjoyed it. It was fun for what it was. Didn't really quite understand what was going on. There was a lot of character interactions and whatnot that I didn't get. The reason being, I had not read the first 2 books in the fucking series before. So there you go. Rereading it now that I have read Darkwalker and Moonshae Black Wizards, read and reviewed on this channel, of course, I kind of get where the story was going and why it took the turns that it took. Do I agree with it? Not entirely. Was this a good book? I've read better. I really have, but I'm going to talk about it now. Spoiler-filled review. So if you don't want it spoiled, go and watch the other reviews or any other videos on this channel. Otherwise, stay tuned for the next episode of...
Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. People.
Okay. Darkwell. Oh boy, where do we go? All of our favorite characters are back for this one. We have Tristan Kendrick, who is the new High King of the Moonshae Isles. We have his kind of assistant Dareth of Kalisham, who was introduced in Darkwalker on Moonshae. We have his halfling friend Poldo, Robin, the druid who was raised with him and has become kind of his love interest. He proposed marriage to her, but she cannot accept it because she is a druid. We have Newt, the dragon, the fairy dragon. We have Yezlilik, the pixie. They're all kind of here. And oh wow, where do we begin with this one? So Tristan has returned after being crowned the High King to Caladir, and on the way to kind of returning, they are attacked by some Northmen led by Grunish the Red. The Northmen are attacked by Sawegan, and Tristan helps them, so they the Northmen and the folk form an alliance, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that aspect of it. We know the big bad in this book. Baal, the god of murder, is using the Sahuagin again with the undead. Blah, 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 blah. If you've read the first two books, there's nothing special here. However, what is interesting in this book is that the goddess Earth Mother is actually killed off pretty damn quickly by Baal. And Baal creates these, like the Earth Mother had these children. Leviathan was the whale. The Pack, which were wolves. And Cameron, which was the unicorn. Baal creates his own children. Shantu, which is a displacer beast, and an owlbear, and the peritons, which are a mixture of deer and vulture. Now, what's great is that while this trilogy was one of the first in D&D TSR kind of novels, these creatures are still part of Dungeons and Dragons mythology. You can find them in the monster manual. The Displacer Beast, which kind of looks like that, is a panther with tentacles, and it can kind of shadow its form. If we go to the owlbear, is the owlbear. It's a fucking bear with an owl's head. And then the peritons right there. So what's actually happened is these creatures have become D&D lore, which I thought was really, really cool. As a kid reading Darkwell for the first time, no fucking idea what these creatures were. Oh, it looks like a panther. It's got tentacles coming out of its back. Oh, it can kind of create illusions of itself. Wow, that's fucking cool. Whee! But knowing what I know now, this is fucking superb. So Baal has corrupted the Moonwell into the Darkwell, and has basically killed the goddess Earth Mother. But Robin, the druid, has kind of discovered that there's this new god, Shantia, who is the god of agriculture and rebirth, and has started to follow. So, okay, here we go with the fucking bullshit. Tristan in this book is a fuckwit. A complete and utter fuckwit. We know he becomes the High King. He was crowned the High King at the end of Black Wizards. We know that's his destiny. By chapter 2, after his proposed marriage to Robin, he goes off and fucks a redhead chick. I kid you not. Granted, this is all a plot by Baal to separate him and Robin because he knows that they are powerful together. But he literally fucks a redhead chick and completely destroys 2 books worth of relationship by chapter 2. They go on a quest to free the druids that were solidified in stone at the end of Black Wizards, and all the while he's trying to kind of atone for this shit. The Sahuagin and the undead are attacking everywhere, like taking people out. The castle from Black Wizards kind of rises up and starts floating around like it's a fucking submarine ship, boat thing, whatever. And ultimately, it gets down to a fight between Tristan the High King and the god of murder Baal, who has manifested himself on the Moonshae Isles, hoping to make it his own. The Northmen come to the aid of the folk to help fight off the undead, and the Sahuagin kind of attack on their cities and castles. And we all know this is going to end well because there's another trilogy of books which I'm in the process of reading. But as far as TSR novels go, this one was really bad. Like, the characterization of Tristan, even Poldo almost fucked everything up going after treasure. We get a few characters returning. We get the bard that saved them in Black Wizards kind of coming back. We get some new characters like Yak the Furbolg. But, oh my God, did the author... This should have been the second book. And this should have been like the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy. That's how it felt. It was like bleak from the get-go. And it only kind of ramped up at the end. But you always knew good was going to triumph just because of Forgotten Realms. Like, that's the way it goes. It was a slog to read, even though I read it as a kid and I enjoyed it as a kid, not understanding the characters and their motivations and whatnot. This one was, this one was tough. Now, as a trilogy, Darkwalker and Moonshae, Black Wizards, Darkwell, as a trilogy, not just a trilogy, but the first fucking trilogy of the Dungeons and Dragons product line, TSR, letting authors kind of run rampant in their world. As a trilogy, it's fucking awesome. Like, it is really, really good. However, do not go for the audiobooks because the audiobook narration, in my opinion, is lacking. These are some fantastic novels. You can see even the cover of this, like the new cover art, with Baal coming out of the Darkwell, although it's not as good as the Jeff Easley one. They are simply fun. They set up bringing the new gods into the Moonshae Isles. They're not on par with like the Finderstone trilogy or Shadowdale Tantris Waterdeep, that kind of thing. But for what they are really, really fun. And for a fantasy novel, that's what you fucking want. You don't want morals. You don't want ideals. You just want fucking fun. You just want characters doing fun shit against monsters that are doing bad shit, and then everything goes to shit. So, in that respect, Darkwell fucking works. Would I recommend this book? Of course I would. It's a early D&D TSR novel. So, there you go. That was Darkwell, the final book in the Moonshae trilogy. I am currently in the process of reading the next trilogy set in the Moonshae Isles. It's set 20 years after Darkwell has ended and involves the daughters of High King Tristan and High Queen Robin, who have kind of reconciled, so to speak, after he fucked it up in chapter 2. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff. But most importantly, stay safe. Of course, have a fantastic rest of your day. But please, 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 read a fucking book, people.